Hey, Patrick here. Doing something a little different, doing a pop-up, but I'm doing a little bit of a pre-show too, for tonight's show with Thomas Zembeck and Brian Cass from Anchor Bay Entertainment. They're going to be here at 8 o'clock tonight on Eight Questions With. But I want to do a little bit of pre-show hype, because this is definitely one of the most important shows that we have done up to this point. Definitely. This is the first time that we have actually talked to, just, as far as a major distributor. Now, we have talked to distributors before. We've talked to Peter Castro from Bayview Entertainment and Raymond Murray from Cinephobia Releasing. And while they're very, very important, um, Anchor Bay is, well, anybody who collect physical media knows Anchor Bay is a very sought after collectible even today. Back in the day, they came out. They started in the mid '90s. A lot of us have Anchor Bays in our collections. I have a few. I have a few. I have more. I have more, but once again, it's to the point where I need to dig them out. But I have a few that are pretty close to me, and I'll show off a little bit later. Um, yeah, now while ISC is definitely, my, I guess the boutique label of my a choice for me. But to tell you the truth, when I very first started collecting, I mean, very first started collecting, I was working at a supermarket, and I was at a supermarket, and hey, Jaden, I was at a supermarket, and uh, uh, our store started selling films, and I bought two or three different uh, DVDs back then, and I've always had them. Hi, Sue, how are you? I had them from the very beginning. Um, that was probably honestly I think it was the I think I think it's safe to say it was the first DVD that I bought. I had bought in some cassette tapes, some VHS tapes. I had bought my first VHS tape with Starship Troopers, but that got destroyed. That got destroyed. Um, when me and Lori, when we moved to Northville, we got ourselves a DVD player. And when we got our DVD player, hey Wilkie, how are you? Corey's in the house. We're getting ready for our interview tonight with Brian and Thomas from Anchor Bay Entertainment tonight at 8 o'clock, and hopefully you guys will all be there for that. Really could use the support for tonight. I'd like to get some heads for that show. I saw another interview with them, and I guess maybe because I'm not a collector's channel, though I have thousands of movies. um, I have thousands of movies. I guess I'm not really seen as that as much. I don't do a lot of collection videos. Um, I do some, but because mine's a little bit sort of messy, I haven't really done a whole lot of them. But rest assured, this is a I do collect. Anybody who's watched my library videos knows that me and the cheetah, we are film collectors. Oh yeah, yes yes we are. We are definitely film collectors, no doubt about that. Um, so they're going to be coming by tonight, and Anchor Bay, to talk about Anchor Bay. They're relaunching it. Anchor Bay got to start in the mid '90s. It was combined from two other companies. They formed it. They started releasing films in '97. They were bought in the early 2000s by IDT. Um, they in turn were Stars. Stars had they bought Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay did distributing. They're known for distributing classic films, horror films. I know in the early 2000s when they were bought, they started right before they were bought. I think they started releasing TV shows. They started releasing a lot more out there, just other than just horror films and classic films. So they were out there for a while, and you still see them. You still see them by on their spines. So most of us know Anchor Bay from this spine right here. That's what we see. This is Anchor Bay before I believe they were bought by Stars. So this is before they were bought out in the early 2000s. So they released TV shows, including like shows like Hercules. When Stars bought them out, uh, it's probably way too small here, but I'll try to get to the camera. You can see the differences of their spine and the size of their cases. Back when DVDs first came out in box sets, they came out in huge boxes like this, even bigger than this, because what they were doing, they were putting 2 or 3 episodes of a season on a disc. So you would get this, and there'd be 5 or 6 discs in here, or 7 discs in here. Plus, they put out some special features on here as well. But the problem with this, as it is, as we all know, it's the space. It's the same problem as VHS had. You want to collect VHS, but you run out of space. So as you can see, I mean, this is pretty streamlined. I have this. In fact, this is a 9 disc set for 22 episodes. So 22 episodes on 9 discs. So basically almost two per disc. Back then it was great. Back then it was great. But then as you can see here, it's streamlined. It's just much smaller. And also, of course, this one only has 10 episodes on it, but you still can see how much smaller. You can get 2 of these in here versus just one of the Hercules. And Anchor Bay did get smaller as their movies got smaller, the TV series got smaller, but you could always tell when Anchor Bay came out from the early days to the later days. Um, so and like I said, Anchor Bay, that Hercules is one of the ones that I got at the grocery store. I bought this brand new at the grocery store. They were selling it for $12.99 at the time, and I thought that was a pretty good deal. Which actually, it really was. $12.99 for a brand new show. But I think it had actually been off the air for a couple of years, so that sort of helped out too. Not always though. That's for sure. Um, Man, it always amazes me. Uh, and I don't know about you guys, but it always amazes me when I go shopping for us. I go shopping, and like I used to go to Disc Replay, and there would be a series that had ended its run, years before. Generally, once the series is over, the demand for it drops. It just drops. No one's watching it anymore. It's not coming out with any new episodes or what have you. So you would think the prices would drop too with the demand. It's pretty much the opposite. Um, well, for at least for dramas, comedies. I don't know why comedies just don't retain the price too well. Whenever I go to Disc Replay, I see a lot of comedies there, and they always on the low end side. You could buy comedies all day long for $4 or so. Dramas retain their prices. Now you weren't necessarily going to be paying full price for them like you would if they were still in production, but um, so yeah, I'm excited to see what Thomas and Brian have up their sleeve. Um, they've been in the business now. They've been working together since 2018. So that's 6 years, going on 6 years now. So they're pretty much a well-oiled machine, uh, along with Joel, who helps them out tremendously. That's right. I mentioned Joel. Shout out to Joel. Um, very, very easy to work with. A pleasure to work with, actually. Um, and Yeah, I'm excited because it's going to be interesting because I feel, with those, especially now with the Disney rolling out there, saying that they're no longer going to be releasing 4Ks. Man, it just when you start thinking there might be a little bit of hope for physical media. Um, to me, I've always felt like the revival of physical media would be around Disney. They're the biggest player. Everybody follows what they do, and it's like, if they go ahead and, if they decide to get back in the home physical media, if they got back in the physical media game, everybody else would too. Everybody else would do it. um but I just don't know what's going to happen. um you hope that you see a movie like Inside Out 2, you see how huge it is, and you sit there and go like, that's going to go to streaming. But there's a lot of people that are gonna want a physical copy of that. Will Disney do that? Will Disney release it on physical, media? Um, I hope so, because there's a lot of people that can't afford to stream. They can afford it. They can afford to buy a DVD. Disney DVD, 19.99 for the movie they could watch anytime, anytime, anywhere, versus paying $15 or $16 per month to watch the movie. Um, I just hope that they'll come back. There's a couple of brick and mortar stores that are starting to carry films again. Um, GameStop and Meyer, of course, our Fred Meyer, I should say. Of course, as I say that, our Meyer in here in Michigan, um, it looks like they're getting out of it. Um, but I really never felt they were really in it. Um, I mean, no one really ever did anything for the physical media section to really hype it up. I mean, they were just there on the shelves. There was no excitement. There was no organization. There was no price points. There was no, like, the displays were just about as generic and as barren as you could possibly get. Um, so I wasn't too surprised this past weekend when I went inside and found out that, yes, indeed, that our Meyer is slowly getting rid of its physical media, um, and it'll probably be gone by the end of summer, based on what I've seen. Um, so I have a ton of questions for the guys. Ton of questions. I'm not going to really reveal any of those questions here. I do have a ton of questions, but I will be taking your questions as well. If you want to come and to the show tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific, and if you have questions about this, um, please bring them. Please bring your questions. This is going to be like I said, it's going to be a pretty important interview for us. And I'm looking forward to meeting these guys. They seem very happy-go-lucky, but they seem also very focused and professional. They do seem to understand us, the collector, because they're collectors as well, and I think that really, really helps out. Um, because you know what, in order to understand your market, you sort of got to dabble in it, right? I mean, it's sort of hard to sit there and not have any movies in your collection, but sit there and try to talk physical media because you just don't have the same emotional connection. Um, it's like, yeah, I love movies. I have 10,000 in the stream in the cloud. Well, that's a whole lot different from physical. Um, but they seem to understand this, and they do seem to be they do have a game plan. Um, I guess the only question I can actually, what I'm going to ask them, but one of the, I think it's the pretty safe to say, it's a question that all of us have asked. when we first heard about Anchor Bay being revived, and that is, um, for me anyway. I mean, I thought it'd be a pretty the first. It's actually the first question I had. The very first question I came up with was, I know Lionsgate has their entire library, but I wonder if they'll still be able to, wonder if they were able to negotiate a small block of films for them to help relaunch. Um, maybe 30 or 40, so they have something to offer somebody right here, right now. I mean, if it's stone cold, like I know they have two films that it's gonna be their first release underneath the new Anchor Bay. It's new, it hasn't been released yet, but it's just two movies. That's tough. Um, I hope they're able to get a little bit of a catalog, like I said, 20 or 30, so they're able to launch a little bit more, get that out there. And yeah, we have a lot of questions. And again, these guys are no Johnny come lately. They own and operate Umbrella, which is a company that helps that has is a distributing company. They have distributed films before. They also have an in-house where they help filmmakers finish their films with different products off the website. And so that's what they've been doing. And then they decided that, hey, you know, Anchor Bay's out there. It's a good name. It's always been equated with quality. And why not see about getting it and relaunching it? And I think they're gonna do a very good job with it. I'm excited. I'm excited for where it could go. Now, I already know some people have mentioned boutiques. Are they gonna be coming out as a boutique label? Anchor Bay never was a boutique label. It was mainstream. It was always mainstream, like Universal, Paramount, um, you know, uh, uh, um, NBC, CBS, ABC. Um, hey, what's going on? Uh, US. Um, so hey, I'm interviewing Thomas Zabreck and Brian Katz from Anchor Bay Entertainment tonight. Man, I hope you can come out for that, Gizmo. I hope you can come out for that. I'm excited for this. This is a big shot. This is a big shot for us to be able to talk to these guys. Um, 8 o'clock my time, Eastern time. So, God, 1 o'clock your time? 1 o'clock. But I know you're a night owl. I know you're a night owl. I saw the videos. You and Don Zombie were like 7 hour live stream. Yeah, in about 8 hours. Yes. Is that too late? Hopefully not. But I understand. But I mean, that's why we have replays for. But as far as, like I said before, as far as Anchor Bay being treated as a boutique label, I never got that impression. They are always you could always find their products, all their releases. You can find them in any and all brick and mortar stores. Target, like I said, I got a lot of my copies in the grocery store. Um, and you can get them you got them at Best Buy. You got them at Tower Records. You got them you saw them there at Blockbuster. I mean, they weren't like a Severin, like your specialty one. They were mainstream. So I believe this is what's going to happen today and now. I don't think they're going to come, because really, if they do that, and I just don't see it happening based on what I've heard and what I've read. I do think they plan on coming back with a much heavier footstep. Meaning, I personally feel because someone has to do it. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Someone has got to make a first step, into going back into stores. If physical media, as we know it, is going to be saved, we have to have it in stores. We have to be able to go and be able to buy it and support it that way. If it's just strictly through the mail, buy it off of websites, I just don't see long term. Not I just don't. Not it's just the prices they charge for boutique labels online, which in fact really should be cheaper than if inside a brick and mortar. The prices should actually be cheaper in mail order more than brick and mortar, but they're not. You've seen this. You've seen the prices for on all these boutique labels and all these websites. It's expensive as hell. I mean, um, let's see. Oh, oh, that's a good thing though. Little girls will do that. My brother's little girl, Kira, is also like that. She's just learning how to. She's just getting. She's coming out of the crawling stage. She started to pick herself up and hold herself up and walking. So you know how he's gonna be right behind you. Um, so like I said, I'm just I'm talking to three people here. Uh, but this is just how I'm thinking. I'm speaking out loud. Of course, you guys can come by and listen to this as well. Um, I guess another thing I could touch base on, since I haven't had very much response to this yet, and I'm sort of hurts my feelings a little bit. Um, okay, not really hurt, but it hurt the cheetah's feelings. That's worse. So what I like from you guys, I need you guys' help. So, um, it is. He named her. They named her after. They named her after Keira Knightley. They spelled the same way. So, and that's not a bad thing. I think Keira Knightley is really cute. Uh, hmm, sorry about your puppy. So here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to between now and the end of July. I'm going to be keeping a running count here. I want you guys to drop your three favorite guests. Oops, I froze, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. So here's what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to go to the comment section or holy crow, you're kidding me. Ah, um, no, I haven't had that done. I haven't had that since I first started. All right. So what I need, I know I'm not frozen on my screen on YouTube, but I'm frozen on my phone. So what I like to do is try to get everybody to name their three favorite guests in the comment section. In the comment section, or I actually have a blurb on my community tab. You can go over there as well. But I really need to have you guys put down your three favorite guests. Um, I really would that would really be helpful for me in the channel. We're going to be getting a new intro in August, and before that can happen, I want to see which three guests are your favorites. So, uh, that's Corey, huh? That's right. Can we get one Corey and two other Corys? Corey can vote for himself. Corey, yes, Corey, you're there. You can actually vote for yourself as if you think you are one of the three favorite guests that you've seen. and 105 people will have agreed with you because 105 people have watched your watched our video. Um, but we are looking now for looking for the three favorite guests. If you could leave them in the comment section here today, if you want to leave it here in this live stream, that's great. We'll count them down the same, because we're getting a new intro in August, and I want to incorporate the guests that have been on the show. Um, make it a little bit more fun. Um, let's see, Richard Stanley and Yui Bowl. Yeah, okay. I had a feeling. Um, oh, the red leader is Corey. Oh, red five standing by. Richard Stanley, Yui Bowl, and Corey. Okay, I'm gonna mark those down. I'll mark those down. Runner for sure. Yeah, that'll be cool. And then Holland, if Holland wants to drop down two more names, I will get his as well, and Corey as well. And then you guys got to come back tonight so you can hear me say this all over again. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty jazzed for tonight. That's why I'm up here doing this a little early. Um, I'm a little jazzed. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. This will be my third interview with a distributor. And I just got seeds planted for a fourth, which I'm going to be working on soon. Uh, and someone who, if I get them, if they actually agree to come onto the show, which I don't know, I have my doubts. I love the guy. I've had so much fun with this gentleman. I hope he understands that I do like him a lot. I do like him a lot. I like his movies a lot. I think we have so much fun, especially me and Casey. We have so much fun. I have a few in my collection. I have a few in my collection of this gentleman's his films. I'm going to keep it underneath my hat until I'm able to sweet talk him into coming onto the show. Hopefully that will be in August. Um, and that'll be a feather in my cap for that too, because I didn't think I ever get to, I didn't never thought the guy even would befriend me. Um, because I have a lot of fun with him. I do, but I love his movies. I do. I love his movies, and and the same thing with the David Michael Latt from Asylum. I Listen, I'll admit, I mean, I do talk. We all do talk a little bit of smack about those movies. But good Lord, who doesn't have some of their movies, right? Who doesn't have like I have Asylum movies in my collection. I do. I have them there. I have Wild Eye collection. I have, even though even though I'm on their enemy list. I'm on their enemy list. Rob's. I don't think Rob's. I don't think Rob's a particular fan of us. Um, but I still got his movies, and I still talk to him about them, and I'll still talk to anybody who's in them. Definitely. Um, there's nobody out there that that I absolutely just like. I will never watch anything they put out. I no hell. If I watch some of the movies that Brain Damage put out, it's safe to say I can pretty much watch anything. I can handle anything that anybody throws out. Some I like a lot more than others. Like I said before on when I started doing this stream, it's like I know a lot of people whose favorite label is Anchor Bay. Um, Definitely, I know a lot of people do. In fact, our good friends, Mr. Bones, he actually put out his collection video of his Anchor Bays. He put out a video of his and it's like 25 minutes long. So that tells you there's a lot there to be seen. That it's a dedicated, it's dedication. And I heard another collector say they have collected every single Shout Factory release. That's crazy, but that's the kind of collection. That's the kind of people that love doing collections. They'll collect just that one particular. They'll collect everything, but there's that one label they like more than others. And for me, it's IFC. I mean, IFC, and then I also love, and I wish they all came out on physical release, but I would anything that Ray Murray puts out, I'm there. Um, let's see. Oh, as far as Anchor Bay goes, let's see. Oh, sh- let's see. Gizmo Shark versus Terminator, Shark versus Jabba the Hutt, and Shark versus Holland. I don't know which. Let's see. Holland probably has 200 shark films from Asylum in his collection. Yeah, there are some dedicated people that collect Asylum. There are some dedicated people. As long as it, and you know, and it was really a shame when I heard that. Except for very special films, like I think now, I heard that Asylum was going strictly streaming. I had heard that, but then I heard that they were going back to physical releasing. Uh, you know, because they're they still release movies, but they weren't releasing them like they were before because there was no place to release them to because they did a lot of business for a lot with a lot of chains. Like I know that Asylum definitely was big in family video. So was Wild Eye. Those two companies there did a lot of business through family video. Um, See, I've only seen a few from Asylum. Everyone needs a little pain in their life. You know what? Yeah. You know what? There's always that one or two film where you get that and you break it down to a friend, like let's watch this. And it's just so the movie's so bad that it's good type of deal. And but I know a lot of people, though they might deny it now. I know a lot of collectors that got the Sharknado series. I got the second one. I got the second one, and if I could find the other ones on at the library, I buy them. I would actually buy the other three or the other four. I really would. I only got the second one though. But you know what? I mean, here we are. Here we are. 5 years ago. Here we are. We're poking fun at these guys. We're all talking smack about them. And next thing you know, now we give our left arm to be able to have them in the stores again, so we could go out there and buy their movies. We can't buy them anymore. We they're no longer to be bought. We went from looking at them on the shelves and laughing at them to now looking at it and going like, you know what? If it was sitting in front of me, I'd be tempted to buy it. Um, isn't it funny how life changes? Um, yeah, what I really liked about Anchor Bay is they did everything. They were a full service label. They did documentaries, they did dramas, they did classics, they did horror. They got into TV, and yeah, I want to say Black Sail is actually Anchor Bay. I could be wrong about that, but that was on Stars, I think. Oh, okay, so I was right about that. So, So here's another thing that I own from Anchor Bay. I have the complete series of Black Sails. I have the complete series, and yeah, that also came from it had a particular cover and good features, good special features, and it's a pirate series. I got the whole collection of that. So I have more Anchor Bay than man. I might have more Anchor Bay than I realize. But like I said, I just want to. Oh, okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, the more well, I'm gonna be doing a running count. Hopefully by the hopefully Steven will come by and drop off his three favorite guests that have been on eight questions with. Um, but yeah. Hey Steven, how are you, sir? How are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We're just doing a quick uh, pre-show chat. We're doing the two leaders, the two co-owners of the revival of Anchor Bay. Anchor Bay has been revived. They're going to be releasing new movies too, and they got two movies they're going to be releasing. That's one thing we'll be talking about. I'll be asking about because I know that's some of what people will be thinking about. I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions that I think collectors will like, but I'm encouraging you to come for yourself with your questions. Bring your questions. Come back at 8 o'clock. They will be asked. We're gonna be really going through those as best we can. The more questions, the better. Because like I said, we don't get a chance to really talk to anybody like this. How many times have you really wanted to talk to someone from Criterion or Severin or Vinegar Syndrome or Shout Factory, and you just don't do it. You don't hear anything from those guys. Well, so far we've talked. This will be like I said. This will be our third interview with a distributor. We've had Bayview Entertainment. We've had Cinephobia, and which was art exploitation, as Gilmore can tell you, art exploitation, Cinephobia, and this will be our third one. This will be our third one with Thomas and Brian, and I've seen a couple of other interviews with them. They are very, very collector friendly. I mean, they are collectors themselves. They understand how we all feel as far as physical media goes. They are in touch with us. They're not out of touch. They're not hiding behind a desk or an ivory tower that our voices are, your voices goes from here to the wall. Um, they are very much in tune to your questions. Hey Charles, how are you? Um, Charles says he's owned several versions of Evil Dead VHS and DVD from Anchor Bay. Yeah, I was just posting that up myself, Charles, before you and Steven got here. I have the complete series of Black Sails. I own that. Uh, one of the very first, one of the very very first things I ever bought as a collector. I dare say this is probably the one of the first thing I ever bought as far as DVD goes, within the first 10 things I ever bought, and that was Hercules. I got this when they were selling this at Farmer Jack. Charles will know what Farmer Jack is. I got this at Farmer Jack for 12.99. Uh, and of course, you guys know who watch my library hauls. Just not this week, but last week, I picked up Camelot. I picked up Camelot. This was the only season that they made, but this is also to Anchor Bay. So my absolute favorite company right now is Umbrella Entertainment. No one comes close. I love that company, but so expensive. Since they are so far away. Yeah, that seems to see that's the thing that we're going to be talking to these guys about too, because I really really think that I hope because boutique labels. I mean, come on, think about it. Every time, I mean, everybody sits here and waits for the sales to come on to raid the sales is because no one really talks about no one really talks about, hey, I'm gonna go to Criterion when it's not a 50% off sale and spend double the price for it. I'm going to spend $40. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that before I go to the 20, the 50% off sale. The fact is that people wait for these sales to come by because that's what a lot of people can actually afford to go out there, and I do mean afford loosely. Like, they can go out there and they can go out there and spend $100 and get 5 movies, maybe three. It all depends what they buy. Um, versus versus waiting for the 50% off sale, and maybe getting them half price. Um, a Def Croc on second place, and I think 88 Films is in third place. Only stupid thing with 88 Films is that some films are censored. Wow, I did not know that. In Europe, we don't have many sales. If we do have the sales, we're pretty bad to the US. But I think that's really basically, I think it's mostly because of the prices though, right, Gizmo? I mean, what is the biggest thing that you guys in the chat, when you do collecting, what's the biggest thing that drives you as far as getting the movies? What do you look for when you go get a movie? Yes, you're absolutely right too, Corey. So those Criterion sales, man, I go over there and I just go over there and I go to the lowest of the low because they always have like 8 or 9. They have like 8 or 9 movies that are like like $10 a piece. I go over there and I get one. I'll get one. That's all. That's all I'll get. I can't get anything else than that. Um, I mean, I remember going to Barnes and Noble for the first time before I got into collecting, and going over there and seeing that they had those movies for $40. I just was sitting there looking at the clerk, going like, how the hell do you sell these? No one's coming in here and buying this for $40. Not enough to justify it. And this is, I don't know. I just put them out there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Criterion is definitely the most expensive. I mean, well, you know what? I take it back. Honestly, Gizmo, I have seen a lot of boutique labels like Severin and Vinegar Syndrome outmatch those guys. I have seen Criterion films for $40, but I've seen some shit being pushed by the bigger by some of the other boutiques for this for $50. I mean, Criterion. I mean, the thing about Criterion, and this is the reason, like, I know a lot of people, they'll go and they'll go to Criterion first. One, because it's just pure quality. You never hear anybody talk about, yeah, like, I got my Criterion today and I got a banged up package, or I got my Criterion today and the disc didn't work. No one ever says that. No one ever says, yeah, I ordered a Criterion and it took 6 months for it to get delivered. Nobody says that because it never happens. Their quality control is exceptional. It's probably industry leading. Um, and it has special features on it. Um, the packaging and the linear notes, the special features, the documentaries. I mean, it's just top class. Um, I'm just thinking about what I saw on Severin, or Vinegar Syndrome. They're selling Navy SEALs for 50 or for $45. 45 fucking dollars for Navy SEALs. It's just like, or Roadhouse. It's absolutely mind dropping. I just can't understand. I mean, sure, if you can afford it, even if you can afford it though, but who's doing that? Uh, get Titus for $20 and sell the ones I don't need for 40 or $60. So I always make money on them. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, if that's what you're doing, if you're a reseller, I mean, I know a lot of people do that. They'll get a new release and it's the same thing with figures. When figures come out, a lot of people will go there and or they'll go on eBay and they'll buy everything out as much as they can and then turn around and resell it. Now, do I think that's, I have mixed emotions about that. I personally feel like I think yeah, I think the limitations should be in play. Like, how many can you buy at once? Because it does suck for everybody else to try and go get the movie or the figure, and their money's just as good as yours. They just have maybe they just couldn't get to it soon enough. But I think it sucks that someone comes in there and it buys out the whole inventory and turns right around and jacks the price up. I don't think that hurts everybody. That hurts, and a lot of times when people do that, they end up chasing the person who's doing the collecting. A lot of times people will get burned out by that and they'll leave. They'll leave. They'll say, it's not worth it. I can spend 15 bucks on a streaming service and no one's going to jack my price up there. And the fact of the matter is, we can't afford to lose physical media collectors. We can't afford it. We need each other. We need each other. I sold a slipcover of The Sadness for $100 this week. Someone wanted to pay $100 for a slipcover. That's just, that's crazy. That's this $100 for a slipcover. Oh Lord. I guess. You know what? Hey, if you got it to sell, right? Let's see. So Corey's saying the same thing I just commented on. Criterion has great customer service. If you ever need it as well. I had one movie that came in with the wrong insert, and they sent the correct one to me right away. Yeah, Criterion's the Rolls Royce. I mean, it really is. It's top of the food chain. Um, Gizmo said, I never buy multiple copies. I just buy one. If I don't like it, it goes up out for sale. I dig that too. Charles says, I used to buy imports of movies that Criterion handles for under 10 bucks. They had some of the same extras as Criterion. Someone off eBay will sell these DVDs. It's gone now. Uh, let's see. Gizmo says, I'm a subscriber. To be a subscriber costs me around $1,400 a year. So I sell about half of them every year, and I make about $2,500. A subscriber to what? Vinegar Syndrome, or who are you subscribed to? Gizmo. I keep half the stack and make twice my money. It's okay. I mean, I know demand drives prices. I know that it drives the price. I mean, Vinegar Syndrome, man, that's expensive. $1,400 to subscribe to Vinegar Syndrome. That's really yeah, that's really that's just to subscribe, right? I mean, do you get anything? Jeez. Film Movement is a subscription base too, but I don't think they charge $1,400. I think they charge like 20 bucks, and I think you get a movie a month. And then if you want to buy more, you can. Hi, Mr. Bubbles. How are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We are talking about movie collecting, boutiques, and we'll be having the two gentlemen who are leading the revival of Anchor Bay Entertainment, Thomas Zembreck and Brian Katz, are going to be here tonight at 9 o'clock. If you guys all want to, you guys can all go to the front of my page and hit the notify me button, and that will let you know when we go live. Those who already know me in the channel know, of course, I will be here at 7:45. I always go on a little bit early, so just know that as well. We always start a little early. It says 8 o'clock start time, but we always start at 15 minutes early, so we get this thing going a little bit, percolating a little bit before the guests get here. let's see. Carl says he buys used DVDs, DVDs from Redbox, but Redbox appears to be dying. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've heard that too. Um, yeah, I that sucks. It just makes me appreciate, definitely, it makes me appreciate because I was a little nervous. I really was. I was a little nervous when, it seemed to be that Hamilton book, which is other than the library, is probably my other hunting ground. And while I will admit that the selection there has not been the greatest as of late, it used to be a little bit more creative. Um, they still, I mean, and I thought some of and I do think their prices for some of their movies have gone up. I have seen movies that were in the 4.95 section. Now I see them in the 5.99 section and up. Well, I have seen some movies get transferred up. I think we'll see that more and more as attrition takes place for a lot of these films. We're always going to see that every year. That's every year, movies they get lost to a whole variety of things, and and you really don't think about it too much, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. See, Excalibur Media was a company in Europe that quit distributing titles 2 years ago. They had so insane. They had so many great titles and cheap with poster, but sadly they stopped. Yeah, you would think right now, honestly. I mean, I guess it's in one sense it's good to be a boutique label. If you can manage to survive and your competitors, um, that's a good thing. Um, of course, I think film hunting is going to become more intense. Like I found this at the library today. I didn't expect to get this at all. I thought this was beyond me because I thought, hell, it's been out of print for years. For years, this has been out of print. I've never heard anybody talk about reissuing it. So when you saw it on the shelf, it's just like it's almost like treasure because it's like affordable treasure. And I'm sure if I type this up at eBay and Amazon, there might be copies, but they're going to be stupid prices, and I can't afford that. But I found the Lost World at my library, and I got this honestly. I think I paid like $1 for it. Oh, what the hell? My phone is unhappy. my, my phone is unhappy. Um, I just found that. It's so rare to see these things anymore, because every year, what's happening now is a lot of these are not being replaced because now these companies are now going to streaming. Every year, you would always see, like you see at every Halloween, they're always re-releasing all the old classics, right? They're re-releasing them out. Sometimes they're still doing that. For some of the big labels, um, they're re-releasing their old content. Um, I mean, I, but it's just not very much. The Hobbs is in the house. I don't know what's going on with my phone. My phone is haunted. Yeah. Sorry about that. Um, so yeah, I mean, finding, every year that goes by, it does seem like there's less and less. And in fact, starting to hear this now, even within our own small community. What Charles just said, what Professor McCarville has commented on. My friends, the resellers from the library, they do reselling. They also commented on this as well. Um, they're not seen as much as they used to in terms of physical media. You go to a garage sale and there'd be boxes of shit there, right? Well, not anymore. Not anymore. They're not out there quite as much as they were. And the thing about it is what's really goofy about that is whatever's left is out there. People are charging stupid prices for it. They're charging prices from 5 or 6 years ago. Um, and yeah, I just it's amazing how much people are asking for this. But the thing is, though, it's like I look at it and go like, man, you're at a yard sale. You're trying to get rid of that stuff. Why are you pricing it to keep it? I mean, if you want to keep it, keep it. But the thing about it is, though, I do think that this is what we're all going to be facing moving forward. Uh, let's see. Just received a MVD boutique labor a gingerbread man with Gary Busey from MVD. Mama, are you sending that one to Bones? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Well, you know what? I mean, some companies are still cranking it out. I'm just curious. I mean, my question to MVD is where are they distributing these to? Where are these movies being sold at? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, are they all strictly going to be just strictly through MVD's website? This is the only place you're going to be able to get them at. Yeah, disc replay. Yeah. I went to disc replay once. Me and my buddy Catfish. We went to disc replay once, and they had a copy of Xenia, and they had a copy of Highlander. And at the time, I walked in there. The price for the season of Highlander was $42. $42. That was what the market held. That was based on what people were asking for and getting on eBay or Amazon. The Xenios season was $18. 18. And it's Anchor Bay, actually. And so it's a Highlander one. Let's see. How many versions of Gingerbread Man can they make? You know what? That's a real good question, Hobbs. I mean, how many units do they have to sell in order to justify it? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. How many units can they sell, and how many streaming services can they sell it to as well? I would love to know, and I'm going to be asking this more and more, I guess. But I would like to know how much does it cost, or how much does a label like Full Moon, how much do they get from Amazon or any other streaming service to run their film? How much do they get paid for their film? I just I mean, with some of these streaming services having up to 1,000 titles, how do you stand out? I mean, how do that's the other thing too. Um, for me anyway, is how do you promote an only stream movie if you're not Disney or Paramount or Hulu or Max? I mean, you sit there and you say, "Hey, my movie's out." For before, you could make a poster, you could go to a store and get it. You can go through the strictly to the filmmaker and get it. But a lot of these indie filmmakers now, they're all of a sudden now they're in the position where, well, we're just doing streaming. how the hell are you going to promote your movie? How are you promoting it? I would love to know. I have no. That's a good question, Josh. I have no idea. And again, too, there's some new folks came in. So we need your help too. We need your guys' help. Um, we are asking you guys for your three favorite guests on Eight Questions With. We are asking you to leave it in the comment section below or in the community tab I have up there. Um, Please drop down your three favorite guests that you've seen on the show. Try do it in the comment section or in the community tab. Don't do it in the chat. Um, please don't do that in the chat. But drop a comment down below in the community tab. Or yeah, not here. If you could do that. Let's see. Let's see. Charles found from the filmmaker. Yep. Yeah, if you could just do it, if you could just leave it on the comment section or the community tab, that would be very, very helpful. We are asking everybody from now to the end of July who their three favorite guests were, because we're going to be coming out with a new intro in August, and we need your help in helping that, making that happen. Uh, that guy's that guy's long gone. I don't think he's I think he's long gone, Hobbs. Gary, I yeah, I don't think he's even around at all. Charles, me, and me. That's Charles. Well, I tell you what, Charles, I will count one of those as you, but if you can give me two other ones, that'll be great. I am encouraging people to vote for themselves. If they think that they were the best guest that they saw, by all means, feel free to drop your own name in. I have no problem with that. All right. It is now 61 minutes. I said I was going to come up for an hour, so I've hit my mark. I will be back at 7:45 or 8 o'clock with Thomas Zembek and also Brian Katz from Anchor Bay Entertainment. They will be here at 8 o'clock, and I really hope that you guys all come out for this one. I really could use the help. I'd like to see the chat really packed out for this. So feel free to share us out. Tag me if you share this out. Tag me so I can come up there and say thank you. Thank you. I like to do that. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, today is the two gentlemen from Anchor Bay. Tomorrow we'll be talking with Ashley Hargroves. That'll be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And that will be another great interview as well. But thank you so much for your support. Yesterday was a lot of fun with Anna Exiden, and yeah, tonight's going to be really fun too. And I look forward to seeing you guys. And those who, yes, yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, there you go. You can put that one down, and then you can vote one other one, Charles. If you could leave it in the comments down below, that'll be amazing. All right, guys. I will see you in about I'll see you in about 7 hours. Take care and stay safe. Peace.